Hello YouTube. I wanted to do a video on silver, copper, precious metals, gold, any sort of like trade or barter items. Sorry for the pause, there's like some weird dog noises. I got a lot of this as like a start to a trade and barter type of thing. To me, all this shit's cool and it was cheap, and I can use most of this stuff to make stuff, which makes it valuable to me. And if it's valuable to me, it's probably valuable to other people. Silver in particular, I really like. I'm going to get a lot more silver. This is what's left after I've raided it a couple of times already. I actually had like $70 more in constitutional silver that I've fucking had to sell to get other shit done. Basically, the deal for the FAL was so good, I was willing to take a loss on some silver to fucking go make that happen. So we did that, and I think that was a good move. But if you're thinking about getting into precious metals, there's basically a handful to consider. Talk briefly about gold. Sorry, this is a tiny little bit of gold. I think it's like a quarter of a gram or something. That's not much. It's probably like $30. I don't really like gold. I think once you get a certain amount of money in this shit, you have to have gold or platinum. Platinum's about like $1,000 an ounce or so, and gold is like $1,700 to $2,000 an ounce, depending on where you catch it and who you buy it from and a lot of other shit. So those are kind of rich man's metals. Silver is 22 something an ounce right now, and it's really suppressed. Silver should be somewhere between, probably like 20 times gold and 40 times gold for the amount of money it sells for. Okay, so like 1 ounce of silver, 1 ounce of gold should equal, 20 to 40 ounces of silver, roughly. And currently, it's 1 ounce of gold to like 80 ounces of silver is what the prices are trading at. So I buy silver because of that. I think it's the better buy, and it's cheaper, and you get more of it, and you can get cool old coins. I buy the old shit because it's cooler. I think it's always going to be worth more money. It's collectible as a barter item. This stuff is like, it's not debatable as to whether or not it's silver. Most people can tell this shit's real just by looking at it. There's a huge advantage to this. Gold, for most of the things I would ever barter for, I think gold is kind of pricey. Like short of cars and shit. Like I would definitely have some of it. I want to get, a little stack of ounce coins of fucking gold, but like that's a lot of money. This here is, now this is probably $600 or $700 in silver, and probably a few hundred, more than that. Probably about $400 or $500 in copper, and then there's about $350 or so in nickel, and then the aluminum, that's like probably $20 or so, maybe not even that. But and that's turned into ingots and shit. Aluminum is actually even cheaper than that, but I have those for an interesting reason. There's a ball of aluminum at the top of the U.S. Capitol. It's several pounds in weight. It is put there because when that Capitol was built in the 1700s, or early 1800s, aluminum was the most valuable metal on Earth because it was the hardest to refine. So I'm buying some aluminum bullion and sticking it in all this shit for like my nephew and his kids and shit, Because, like, what if the world does collapse? And what if all that shit goes away? And what if aluminum is that difficult to refine again? If so, those 2 random bits of aluminum there could be worth a country someday or some shit. You know, maybe not. Maybe that technology never goes away. But again, I think I spent $10 on this one, and I got this one for free because I was buying so much copper and shit. The guy threw it in. I think they're cool for that. He makes a copper cross. I kind of want one of those too. For your silver, I think really there are a few options that I would look at. And the first one is constitutional silver, which is, these are half dollars, dimes, and quarters. This is all old U.S. junk silver. It's all 90% silver. It's been traded and used as bullion in the United States for decades and decades now. It's pretty much the same thing with the silver dollars. They're all 90% silver too, and same deal. Just you pay more for silver dollars usually. That's another couple of halves. I like the halves. I had a bunch of dimes, and they really weren't, I don't know. These are barber dimes. I saved those out of the like $70 in dimes I had. I had 2 of those, and the rest were mercury, so I saved the really old ones and sold the rest. That's the only quarter I've had. I think the quarters and dimes would be handy because all of this stuff is made to where, 2 of these halves equal the silver in a silver dollar. 4 of the quarters equal the silver in either one of those. 10 of the dimes, it's fractional. That's really, really nice for like paying for shit or whatever, negotiating. This stuff over here is different. These are from the Netherlands, I think. And I found one of those, and while researching it, I found another one that was on sale on eBay for like $2 or something. Like it was like the auction was ending in 3 minutes or something. So I bid on it and won it. And both of those are 0.72 silver and are like half dollars basically. So each of those are like $10-12 in silver, somewhere in there. And the foreign stuff, I don't like it as much as the US stuff, but at the end of the day, silver is silver, right? Like, it doesn't really matter. These are all American Silver Eagles. They are nice because they're also very recognized, and they are 1 pure ounce of silver. All of this stuff is all 90%, right? So it actually takes $1.40 of any of this stuff to equal an ounce of silver, whereas these are full ounces. That is nice. And you pay a premium for these, and it's for the recognition and all of that, and these are just cool. I don't know if it's really worth it to buy these over silver rounds. I have these 4 just to have these 4. The one in the case is for my nephew. Those 3 are mine. Like, I kind of figured those and the Netherlands ones and these nice halves, I'm just going to keep those. Those are just silver because I want to have some silver. All of this shit is for trade. And I'm going to keep adding to this pile and probably this pile too. They make some like 30-06 rounds that are 2 ounces of silver. I want some of those. They make just silver rounds that are like buffaloes and shit. I think some of those would be cool too. I don't have anything against those. I would just rather have the old money because I think it's cool. When it comes to copper, I have a little bit of everything. These are all different, just 1 ounce things. And then that's I think it's a 5 ounce. Yeah, it's a 5 ounce Geiger bar. That's a half pound, like backyard cast bar there. I really like those because they're cheap. Those are all like 1 pound, 3 ounces or something like that. And then this is a big bag of wheat pennies mixed with foreign coins from around the world that are the same kind of metal that wheat pennies are made out of. That it's not technically copper, it's a light bronze alloy that is mostly copper. They do that so they wear better in circulation and shit. The same reason this shit's 90% silver. They throw copper in this to harden it up, because if you don't, they look like this a whole lot faster. So the more you know. But all this copper shit in this bag, like, I think you can probably see it in there. There's that coin right at the top, the big one. It's from the 1700s. It has Louis the 16th on it, or Louis the 15th, I don't remember. I kind of figure all of that will be handy. It's worth something, and I'm betting I can use it for barter, if nothing else. These are copper rounds. I bought a whole tube of these. They are the Walking Liberty design, and they have little eagle on the back of them. I really like this coin design. I had one of these half dollars for a long time. The next thing I want to get is like $20 in these halves. Just because it was my like good luck pocket coin for a long time. I had one that was 1941. And to me, this coin is just World War II. I like the big war eagle on the back. So I bought a tube of those in copper. Those are mostly for me. I'm probably going to keep those. I kind of figure if I have to trade all this shit off, I might keep a tube of copper coins with the few silvers I keep. This shit, this whole bag here is nickels, just like this is. These are all Canadian nickels. And Canadian nickels from like 20s to like the 80s are pure nickel. And it's the cheapest way to get into nickel bullion. Nickel is now being used in so many high-end electronic applications, and we're now going into a war. I just bought several $100s worth of this when I saw what happened. Like, it's a month or two ago now. The London Metals Exchange closed for the first time in a 400-year history because the price of nickel went up 400% in like a few minutes or hours or some shit like that. So, yeah. That's why I bought nickel. I think those Canadian nickels are cool enough that they're always going to be worth something. I did not pay very much for these. And this is like a little over £1, and this is 10 pounds in this bag. And actually, my grandma bought another 10 pounds of that because she heard me talking about these and was like, I'll take some of those too. So that's in the family. She's 78 years old, so I don't know. It's cool to see her prepping too, I guess. A lot of what I do is basically because I don't know what I'm going to do, but I know my grandfather would want his wife taken care of. So that's what all this is about. And I'm hoping to add a bunch more silver to this and a little more gold. It's hard to do that while also finishing other preps right now, and gasoline's getting expensive and everything sucks. I didn't even talk about this bag. These are like some foreign coins I like and some steel pennies. They're kind of worthless. Those are Indian head pennies. It's in the, I'll probably just keep that shit pile. I think anything made of a solid piece of metal is worth something, because me as an artist or someone that makes things can take that and either melt it down or use it as is to make something without any more refinement or anything like that. And like, these aren't as valuable for that, but these and the bars of copper and shit are, and those nickels, the aluminum. That's a definite argument to be made for the solid ounces over this stuff. And the wheat pennies and stuff. I think of this as mostly like cool trade items. People will want shiny shit after the world ends, and someone will give me something for this stuff. What do you guys do for barter? Anything cool? A lot of people say to do vice items and shit, weed and alcohol and cigarettes and shit. I don't know. It's not my thing. I'm going to do a video here in a little bit on books for shit hits the fan, so you can enjoy that. I have my whole library I have left out, and I'm going to go through it. See you guys later.